Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into the RAYSolute Foresight Report by Aurobindo Saxena to figure out how we absolutely must shift our approach to education and skill development in the AI era.
Okay, let's tackle this anxiety-inducing question right out of the gate. We hear it literally everywhere, right? But today, we're cutting through all the panic to find a clear, evidence-based roadmap of what work is actually durable in the face of this rapidly advancing tech.
Here is our roadmap for today. 1. The automation inversion. 2. The durable human frontier. 3. Skilled trade plus AI. 4. India's skilling opportunity. And 5. Building the future institution. All right, let's jump right in.
Section 1. The automation inversion, the great shift. So think about the past for a second. Industrial automation took over heavy physical labor and basically left all the thinking to people. But AI automation, it's running in the exact opposite direction. It's an inversion. Machines are now targeting that codifiable middle sitting right at your desk, things like drafting, summarizing, and searching. And interestingly enough, they're leaving the physical, situated, and downright messy jobs to us humans. To read this changing demand accurately, the report outlines a super robust 3-signal method that builders and educators can just constantly rerun. See, instead of relying on a static, quickly outdated list of quote-unquote future jobs, we need to look at capability first. What can machines actually do in real life, not just in some flashy tech demo? Then demand. Where is human work growing because of things like an aging population? And finally, the local signal. What are employers in your specific area actually paying for? You really only want to commit where all 3 of those align. Section 2. The durable human frontier. What stays human? So what exactly stays human? There are 5 specific domains that form this ultimate durable human frontier. First up is the hand, handling non-standard materials in non-standard sites. This is literally the firmest ground we have against automation. Then we've got the unstructured situation and the novel case. That's applying human judgment in a real-world mess where there's just no clean template to follow. Fourth is trust and oversight, being the accountable human who actually checks the work and signs off. And finally, care work, which is the absolute largest pool simply because demographic demand is skyrocketing. Now, of course, there's a huge debate on AI's overall economic impact, and we have to look impartially at both sides of that coin. The cautious view warns that AI is just going to outright replace routine cognitive workers. But the optimistic view, it suggests AI will actually lift up less experienced workers by handing them highly usable instant expertise, which narrows the gap with the top performers. But here's the kicker. Regardless of which economic side ends up being right, the required skills for the future remain exactly the same. The author calls this the no regrets commitment. Under both futures, the people who really thrive are going to be those who build for human judgment, the hand, care, accountability, and the ability to work alongside the machine. It's an absolutely safe bet for any educational institution to make.
Section 3. Skill trade plus AI, the new partnership.
This brings us to a seriously crucial concept from the report, skilled trade plus AI orchestration. Think of this as a design principle where human and machine act as a unified partnership. The human fully owns the durable parts of the work, the hand, the situated judgment, the accountability, while the machine handles all the heavy lifting of information retrieval, planning, and documentation. Let's make this concrete. Picture an electrician fixing a really complex fault in some unfamiliar, non-standard basement. Diagnosing that messy physical obstacle and signing off on the safety, that durable work is entirely theirs. But the AI orchestration running beside them, it's instantly retrieving the manuals, pulling up the right building codes, suggesting task sequences, and writing up the final bureaucratic paperwork. The human is amplified here, not replaced. And this trajectory naturally leads to the author's concept of the Shunya Megam, or the zero-person company. This represents a steadily leaner trajectory for enterprises as those routine tasks get completely stripped away. What ends up happening is that the remaining human roles in the company become highly concentrated, intensely valuable, and hyper-focused on orchestration and oversight.
Section 4. India's opportunity, the skilling need. Take a look at this stat, 73.2%. That is the staggering percentage of non-agriculture workers in India operating in informal sector enterprises, according to the 2023-24 survey. Almost 3/4 of the workforce operates entirely outside traditional corporate walls.
Well, this massive informal workforce means that simply having a durable skill isn't enough, because the most defensible trades, like plumbing, electrical work, and caregiving, operate informally. Those durable skills only equal actual prosperity if the credentials are locally recognized without a formal employer. It has to translate to a livable wage in the real local world, or it just doesn't work. So, how do we actually fix this? Institutions have to provide credentialing that the informal market implicitly trusts. To do that, they need to leverage India's credit framework to build stackable competencies. They have to establish customer-facing trust marks for independent workers, ensure those credentials are recognized directly on the platforms where informal work is booked, and crucially, they've got to base their educational success metrics on actual graduate earnings, not just a simple job placement stat.
Section 5. Future Institution, Building the Blueprint. The strategy here requires viewing capital with two totally different lives. In year 0, you fund the durable physical base, heavy equipment, real physical workshops, as long-term capital that's meant to last for decades. But you have to treat the fast-aging AI software as a continuously renewing cost. You simply can't fund software the same way you fund a heavy piece of machinery. It has to be refreshed constantly.
And this demands a massive pedagogical shift. We've got to stop teaching these clean, codifiable bench tasks that a machine could easily just mimic. Instead, we need to teach physical dexterity on worn, awkward parts. We need to teach human judgment through messy, real-world cases. The mantra here is, you have to assess in the mess, not just on perfectly clean paper tests. Plus, these institutions must be built for the reality of the workforce. They have to be designed for small towns and specifically ensure women's access, especially given the massive, explosive growth in the care sector. And remember this, treating experienced, real-world practitioners as your faculty, rather than just building flashy, futuristic buildings, is the true binding constraint on institutional growth. At the end of the day, great teachers make great workers.
This leaves us with a truly inspiring mandate from the author, shifting us away from all that fear and toward purposeful adaptation. Quote, "The machines will keep getting better at what they do. Our task is to keep getting better at what only we can do and to build the places that teach it."
So I'll leave you with this thought to ponder for your own career as you navigate this incredible human AI frontier. As machines master the routine, how will you master the uniquely human frontier? Remember, the goal isn't to compete with the machine, but to master what makes you uniquely human. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will catch you next time.